or Hezekiah drops the ball, and Isaiah says, everything that you showed them one day is going to end up in Babylon. They are going to overtake and defeat Jerusalem. But I'm not going to do it in your lifetime. It will be done to your descendants. In other words, the sins of the father shall be visited upon the children to the third and fourth generation. And if you read what Hezekiah says, it almost seems callous. Because Hezekiah says, well, blessed be God, and at least it's not going to happen in my lifetime. Well, I see judgment is coming, but at least I don't have to pay for it. And we look at that and think, wow, that's pretty tough. Except we do it all the time. We do it all the time. Let me give you just one example of how we do it, and I'll talk from a national level, and then I'll talk from a personal level, because they really merge together to be the same picture. But do you realize the debt that this nation is in is insurmountable? It is in the trillions and trillions, and the current administration is just adding to it like there's nothing to it. Let me ask you a question. Who will eventually pay that debt? Your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. That's who the debt accrues to. So when they spend money like a drunken sailor and give you stimulus checks and give everybody money and just up the debt up and up and up, and we say, oh great, I got another stimulus check in today. Well, guess who's paying for that? Your children and your grandchildren. And our whole financial system is a house of cards. And one day it's going to be tumbling down, and all we do is kick the can down the road and say, well, I hope that it doesn't fall down while I'm still alive. Now, that's a prevalent spirit. And you can look at it on a national level, but then look at your own finances. COVID-19 just kind of pulled the cover off a little bit to show how so many people are in debt up to their eyeballs and could not make it through COVID-19 because they've been kicking the ball down, kicking the can down the road for 20, 30, 40 years. And they have debt that they cannot deal with and cannot pay off themselves. My wife talked to a lady the other day. She has a child in our school. She is about my age, maybe younger, but she's been running this company for this guy that owns the company for probably 2 or 3 decades. She said he owns several companies, and if you looked at him, you would think he's a successful businessman. And he died recently. And she runs his business, and she was telling my wife, she said, I don't know who will inherit this company, but the only thing they will inherit is debt. All he had was debt. Superficially, it looked like, oh man, he's really a successful guy. But living on other people's money, and guess who pays the bill? His children and his children's children.